Let's get into it, shall we? The first thing is going to be if you go back, I did a live stream from Garden State Comic Fest 2024. So that's on the channel. You can check that out. I clipped out individual interviews with some of the creators. So, I met Ethan Van Sciver of All Caps Comics. I picked up one of his baseball caps. It's a nice hat. You see, I opted for the blue, the black and blue hat. Really nice. See, he's got his logo down here of the Laughing Man, and it says All Caps Comics here, and he's got his comic book company logo here, All Caps Comics, and his signature down at the bottom there. So on the back of the hat as like a tag. So really nice hat. I gotta say, like, in terms of hats, this is one of the more comfortable hats. Of course, it says Comicsgate on the side there. It's one of the more comfortable hats that I've ever worn, actually, and that surprised me. But he made a quality hat here, so that's a hat that I got. And of course, he had these little figurines for sale, and I had him sign one. I took one out. I got two, actually. I took it out of the box, but I'll show you that in a minute. But he signed the box for me, so I just keep that on my bookshelf. Cyberfrog. This was like something that came along with the campaign. If you backed Wrecked Planet, so I had a whole stack of these for sale. So I got a couple. I got two of these. One to keep in the box, one to take out of the box. So that's Cyberfrog, right? And here's the figure right here. Check that out. Check out the frog there. And he had 90s Cyberfrog and Heather Swain. But I got two of these. I thought this is perfect. I can put this on my desk, get some inspiration, Look what someone did. Look what they made. They made a toy of their comic book character, their flagship comic book character, Cyberfrog. So that was cool. I put this here. How about right here? Okay. And let me move everything, actually, and we'll get to the books. Okay, so let me move everything out of the way, and we'll get to the books, because I didn't just get Ethan to sign things. Now, I will say this: I had a really great experience with Ethan. I had a conversation with him off camera too. Some of it was theatrical, and that was on purpose. I do have a channel, so I do want it to be entertaining, but at the same time, I did talk to him, and genuine conversation. What you saw in the clipped out interview, that was real advice. Like, we were having a real conversation, and when you meet people in real life and in person, there's going to be a difference between their online persona and presence, hopefully. So I think at first Ethan was like a little reserved, and he's like, well, who is this guy? Is this guy a weirdo? What's he going to do? And then I made the comment about being a detractor and all that, and that was just a joke. I was making a joke, and he got onto it, because we were laughing about it. But anyway, I had him sign his cover of Wizard Magazine 130. So he signed right here. There's the signature there. Check it out. Okay. And I'm gonna move it as I go through these. I'm just gonna move everything off the screen. So this is a copy of Cyberfrog Blood Honey Drained. So it's just this black and whites, and he signed that too. So that was good. He signed Cyberfrog Deleted Scenes from Wrecked Planet. See his signature's right here. He signed Cyberfrog Wrecked Planet right there. He signed my copy of Cyberfrog Blood Honey right here, signature. And he also signed Salamandroid Death Sting. He signed the cover here. This is the glow in the dark cover. He signed that. And this will be the last of like the Cyberfrog stuff, but he signed one of the triptych covers. I have a triptych set of his Cyberfrog, his portion of the cover, and then there's Shane Davis, his Inglorious Rex #1, and then John Malin's Godlike. So I still have to get signatures from Shane Davis and John Malin for their covers, but he said that this was the first convention special he had signed, so that was cool to get the first signature convention special signed by Ethan for his cover with Cyberfrog. And I also, sometimes I pick up these, whether it's at my local comic book shop or it's at Midtown Comics. Like they have really cheap copies of the back issues, like of the DC Rebirth, and you can go into back issues and find what you're looking for in most sophisticated and well-stocked comic book shops. But he signed this issue, number 25 of Hal Jordan, Green Lantern Corps. He signed Hal Jordan in the Green Lantern Corps, Superman, Man of Fear. It's signed right here at the bottom. And it was interesting. He was remarking that this all looked new. He said it went by so fast. So it was all new. It was like seeing new stuff when he was signing it. So that was interesting. He signed this issue, number 4 of Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern Corps. Look at the detail in the hands here. Just look at that. It's impressive. He is a wonderful artist. He really is. I mean, you can't really take that away from him. He has a reason to have an ego if he does. I question that. I think he's a genuine person. I really do. I don't think that people have like opinions about. He's a public figure, so people have opinions about him. But and he does say things, but that's his right. It's the freedom of speech. He gets on his platform. He's a content creator. He's a YouTuber, but first and foremost, he's an artist, and he's a comic book artist. So I think this is my favorite of the Green Lantern books that I got him to sign. I got him to sign number 1. So look, there's his little signature here on the print, and then here's his actual signature in person. So that's it for the Ethan Van Sciver stuff. Let's move on to the next bit. Walt Simonson. So I got Walt Simonson to sign my 3 copies of World's Finest, Legends of the World's Finest. So is this? No, this is book 2. This is book 1. This is book 3. Okay, so we'll look at all these together. But yeah, so he signed at the bottom here. Check that out. All right. So that's number 1. He signed the bottom of number 2 here. Okay. And he signed number 3. Now, this was just such a weird thing. Like, to have things in your life come full circle. Like, I remember reading this until the binding fell off, because this is one of the first comic book. This issue number 3, or part 3 of Legends of the World's Finest. And I remember seeing this either in Barnes & Noble as a kid, or another bookstore, maybe an independent bookstore, and they had this comic, and I made my parents, my mom or my dad, buy this for me. I think it was my mom, and it was just so, it was such an escape, because it's this beautiful painted, panels, and I'll do a full review of this at some point with my signed copies. But like, I had a nice opportunity to meet Walt Simonson and talk to him and speak with him. I asked him about the Jurassic Park adaptation, and he said that was a good experience as well. But it was $10 a signature, and the first one was free, so it was $20 total to get these 3 books signed. So I had all the Jurassic Park books, but I didn't want to pay all that money to get the signatures. He spaced out a bit. Maybe next convention I go to, I'll get to see him. But he's getting up there, so hopefully I get another opportunity to meet him and get the other books that I have of his signed. But it was funny. People kept bringing the issue of Thor where Beta Ray Bill first made his appearance. And he's like, I was standing right in front of him, and this guy, he was picking up his copy of that comic. And the guy, and Walt Simonson says, he's like, I swear, I think that they're sending in fake copies from China of this issue. I've signed this thing so many times that I know that there's fake copies from China that keep sending over here and sending over here. It's pretty funny, He's like, they're fakes from China. Yeah, but no, he was really nice, and there was the longest line at the convention, or at the show at Garden State Comic Fest, was for Walt Simonson. I went on Saturday. I didn't go to the Sunday show. I had plans. I had to go somewhere else, but I couldn't go for both days. But I went to the Saturday show, and yeah, I mean, it was a long line, and they were going to go to lunch, and it was getting close, and I got in line at like 12 o'clock, and they were going to take lunch at 12:30. But he made the effort to meet everybody and sign everyone's books. So, and then I believe the proceeds from the signatures are going to a charity. So that was really nice that they made time for everybody. So last but not least, we've got Graham Nolan. I had him sign two issues of Batman from his DC days, and I also had him sign his new book, Ghosts of Matacumba Key. So I haven't read this yet, but I had a nice conversation with Graham Nolan as well about becoming a comic book artist, and his advice on how to do it and how to proceed. And if you have a full-fledged story in your head, and your mind and your heart is set on doing it, then you got to put in the work. He said you got to do it. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was really fun. Garden State Comic Fest was a lot of fun for me. I enjoyed it. I would go back again, and I'd love to go to some other conventions in the future. So if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you right here next time at Acadian Comics. I would be remiss if I didn't mention the artist Tim Jacobus. So check this out. He was the cover artist in the 1990s for Goosebumps, the Goosebumps books, and it was just incredible to see his actual art. It was instantly recognizable, and I may clip out a separate interview with him and put that on the channel too. It's all in the live stream from Garden State Comic Fest, but check this out. I thought this would be the most appropriate to get. Look, he signed this, and it was just awesome. So I got to meet Tim Jacobus, and it was really nice to get a conversation in with him, and he signed his little print here. This is from Attack of the Mutant, the book. So anyway, that's it. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you right here next time.